Well, if you come to the challenges for the future, you need to also consider the path we already walked along. Developing a model city on the environment is not a task that you can fulfill within a short time. So this is a procedure which we have done over the last 20 years to come to the point where we are now. That means we are a green city, we are a city which works on energy efficiency, on all the well-known tasks in the environmental movement. But this started in the 80s, and when you reach the point to say, okay, for example, biodiversity is one of the tasks. We established a national park within the city boundaries. We succeeded in being a 50% green city. We have an excellent public traveling system, which has been already established over decades in the city. This together with new perspectives of building up an eco-business plan develops a environmental model city. If you come to the point to say, well, what to do in the future, I think the main goal will be to keep the standard where it is. What's the challenge upon this? Vienna is still a growing city. With migration going through Europe at the moment, and a lot of people also heading for coming to Vienna, we face substantial growth of the city, and we're expecting that, well, for European circumstances, we reach a goal of 2 million people living in the entire city area. We need to keep the environmental task which we already fulfilled very serious, to keep it where it is. So it's not only building new houses, just get new people accommodated in the city and do this vis-a-vis the tasks on the environment side, to say, well, we cannot be green and have a lot of houses. So the development of the cities is really, by the number of people which we grow, one of the biggest tasks. The other is the mobility, because after the political change in Europe, in the 90s, we moved suddenly in the center between West and East Europe. And there's a lot of traffic, a lot of mobility going on through the city now, and this has to be fulfilled and has to be handled in a way that we still keep the icon of environmental model city. I think this is one of the major tasks of being an environmental model city, is to really substantially involve the public into those activities. You cannot build up a model city by just designing it. It's the people in the city which makes this happening. So from the early start we had waste collection, waste separation, which needs a population accept to learn how to work on that. It sounds so easy, but if you deliver a service where you only walk about 200 meters to the next collection point, then it still needs the people having the knowledge to know how to best use these services. And this starts with the youngs in the school, even in the kindergarten, to be educated, to be involved, to communicate with their parents and saying, okay, this is what we want to do, and this is how we like to help cleaning up the city. How do you educate? How do you encourage people helping to get a clean environment, get this city on an excellent standard? And there's so many examples which makes up a model, environmental model city. So we always say it's bits and pieces like a puzzle which you need to put together, and the wise thing is you need to know how to put it best together for your city, which are the best decision. You can learn from others what they achieve, but you have to adjust it to the circumstances. And let me give a last example. It's also involving the private business. So we have an eco business plan. So you need also to involve the private business to see the effort that they can be a part of this developing of the ecos of this eco environment city. And if you go to the webpage of the city of Vienna under the environmental task, you will find a huge number of these examples which we achieved. And this is from a green facade to rain harvesting and rain retention. There's so many ideas. Many little pieces you put together, and in the end you build up an environmental model city. Well, the channel, which is beside the river Danube, is called the Neue Donau, so the new Danube. It's a channel which is locked away, so it's an area where you have no flow of the water, so it's a recreation and bathing area for the people. What was the challenge to build it? It's been quite a work, but this is technical engineering work, to dig in the retention land which was available, a channel, and to use the material out of this channel to fill up this island. It's been just a task of years to build a 21-kilometer long island, I think. But this was only the one task to build up this island. After this was settled, it was needed to redesign the bridges, to build subway lines which connect people with public traveling to this island, and this happened over the last 30 years. So it's not one project which was fulfilled within one decade. The building and filling up the island was happening in 10 years, but then it's a constant development and it's a constant further developing of this island. Even as a biosphere park with huge diversity of animals, habitat on this island. So nature is really coming back to this island. Correct. So in the parts which are more far off from the city, you have more nature available. You can you have bike paths to go down there, and it's more remote compared to the middle section of the island, which is close to the city, which has a subway access, which have playgrounds for kids, bathing areas where you can go and enjoy the water in a hot summer. We have barbecue places which you can book with an app on the internet, so you can apply that you go with your friends for a barbecue on the island, and there's a lot of activities going on. And close to the subway station, there's also a school located on a ship. So it's even we tried to take two ships, pulled them together, and it accommodates a school. So it's a try to populate this island, and this happened over the last years and 20 years. So this is growing activities. Nowadays we also run pop festivals on the island, so there's multiple use of this island for many purposes, and it's well accepted from the public in our city. till the beginning of the 90s, when we had the political change in Europe and the rise of the Iron Curtain and the former communist countries joining Europe and now being part of the European Union, it changed the way we are looking and in which direction we are looking. We felt ourselves in the 80s and 70s a little bit in the backyard of Europe, just looking west, and our whole relationship and also commuting traffic was orientated to the west, and it was like an iron curtain, really iron curtain, in the backyard behind Vienna. This changed dramatically. Well, with some challenges as well. Now traffic is bypassing Vienna, and suddenly you're in the middle of a Europe which gets grown and gets more busy. So the example of the new Hauptbahnhof, which was built, is one of these very well visible examples how things changed in Vienna. Since this time, all the trains ended up in Vienna, and there was a full stop. So you just had to go back to Europe. Now we build a new train station, and we connect the trains going on even to Moscow, to other places. So you are probably you're suddenly in the center of a new development. And you need to look both directions, east, west, north and south. And I think this is one of the challenges, and this is one of the opportunities which we face as well. And this results in a way that Vienna is now a growing city, because from the geographic point of view, we are very well located. People take the chance to live there. Companies set up their branches in Vienna to service out of Vienna the east of Europe. So we suddenly find ourselves in completely new circumstances with new opportunities and challenges, and this makes the growth of the city at the moment. And this is the challenge for the near future, which we see with all the refugee streams coming through Europe. We lowered down the borders, and there was free traffic for people to go through Europe. And suddenly there's a bit of fear at the moment that we need to protect ourselves again, and borders are getting more important within the last year. This is one of the challenges we have to overcome for the future, because it's been one of the clear goals of the European Union that you're allowed to travel free through Europe. And the Schengen Agreement should stay on, and we need to find ways to, well, protect as far as we need it, but as well give the people the opportunity to travel free through Europe and to our city as well.